Hello, everybody. Just wanted to do a quick piece with tomorrow's Rumble coming up. Just wanted to do a quick little strategy guide for how to build your defense deck. I am by no means an expert. I think I'm a pretty mediocre player. I do have a few cards here. I have more than some, and of course less than others. But, I have been, I think, pretty successful with some of my defense decks in Rumble. And I really think it falls down to two strategies in your defense deck. Your opponent, of course, gains points by winning, but by winning with the most amount of health possible they have left on their hero and primarily on the cards as well, too. So you really want to be able to either defeat your opponent's cards, win that match, or just whittle them down. Whittling them down tends to be the most popular strategy. The more damage they suffer, the lower their score is going to be. And with the opponent going first and really getting that first attack, a lot of times they're going to one-shot your characters, one-shot the cards that the AI plays. So you want to have a little bit of strategy in how you put them together. I look a lot for higher health cards. When I go through and look at objects, I'm going to look for the highest health objects that will give me the combos that I want, as well as really trying to put together some decent health for the characters as well. Just looking through what I currently have assembled for my Rumble Defense deck, and we can look at the characters and breakdown in a moment. I haven't done much with anything at all, actually, with Run Gale Run. This will be the first time that she kind of sees action here. But I do love the payback. I love the gas. These are great ways of doing damage, especially payback if your opponent hits you. You can hit them back for those 17 points on Gale. And a lot of times they're going to finish off your characters later, your cards later down the line, and they may not necessarily get a chance to heal that damage. So payback is really nice as long as you've got the health to support it. And gas as well, too. Payback will go around bodyguard, but neither one will go around shield. And then your shield, of course, will degrade with the payback and the gas. And the jab will really help a lot towards any type of defense that your opponent has that prevents the damage. So Gale looks like a really strong defensive card. I'm going to pop a few of her in here just to see how it works. Next, I only threw in one Joe for Basketball Joe, Swole Joe. And really, I'm just looking at his crazed more than anything else, the crazed and the, of course, jab. And I always kind of look for a little way or two to still win. In this case, it's going to be mostly Joe and Stan. And speaking of Stan, Bodybuilder Stan is pretty much one of the kings of the athletic BGE and almost every athletic BGE. Good crazed, good hijack, and then that cripple 24, is great, especially if you get it out early and your opponent only has one card. And on defense, it can really shut down your opponent's attack. On the downside, of course, he can be hijacked as well, too, with Stan's, starting health. He can also be one-shotted. Of course, he's going to be more than 23 because you're going to have him fused, but with under 50 health standard before he starts, the Mythic starts growing, it's a pretty easy one-shot, so you want to try to get a couple of these out there in my mind. I do two Stans in this deck. Two Stans, one Joe. That's kind of my offense, and then the rest is all strictly defense. Cyclist Jimmy has a great, this will get up to 35, 37 on the hijack when you've got some, good mastery on him, as well as that cripple and a leech too, just to really kind of help keep him alive. There's a lot of crazed and athletic, and I think hijack is a very strong card for your defense decks. Especially in your guild, if you can kind of mix up your decks. I think variety is what really builds the defense in a guild. If you're playing with all hijack cards from all of your players, then your opponent's going to probably scout it out a little bit and say, hey, let's not put any crazed into here, and they're going to go a different route. But if you've got a good mix, then they're going to play with whatever deck they have, and some of these are just going to catch them off guard. And the more variety you can add like that, really the better. A Golf Club Amy as well, good hijack, good jab, and again a strong payback to get those bonus little points in there at the end. And Basketball Joe. I think we'd already talked about Joe and Gale. Oh, actually, I did not get any Swole Joes in here. I thought I did. But one thing I'll do after I put these together is I'll take them up to the arena just to kind of give it a test spin. And let's see how we're doing. Farmer Bob from the Evil Dead. Well, probably going to be a rough one. They are a very tough group. Yep, 109 Mythics, 2185 Legendary. I might not have beat this deck with my regular deck, but we'll see how we do with this. I want to see how that Gale does right off the bat. Well, thankfully they haven't comboed yet with that clone fight. Throw Atina's Distraction. Oh, I forgot to mention I did throw a few PCs in there just for some decent health, and hopefully if one of them pops up in slot 1, the opponent isn't going to be able to just take one out right away, and maybe that deck will get a little bit more survivability. Not a whole lot like on Tina's Distraction. He's got 10 payback, 8 punch, 5 cripple all, but sometimes that may be what you need to take it down. Let's see how we finish. Well, if they'd have comboed here, well, they'd have lost this turn because of Run Gale. Well, it's actually doing a lot better than what I would have thought it would have. And let's see. It looks like we're going to survive another turn so we can combo Jimmy up to see what Jimmy looks like in here too. And this is going to be our last turn. Yeah, even on the Legendary, he's at 31 on the hijack. I love the Cyclist Jimmy card when it goes up against any type of crazed and there's so much of it out there. Let's try it once more. Kind of wanting to see him lose and see what kind of damage we can do before the deck loses. I am 0 for 2 on actually getting BGE decks in the arena. Matthias, 43 Mythics, 971 Legendaries. No guild. And definitely worth a note, the AI is not going to play your deck as well as you're going to play your deck. So this is kind of a best case scenario in a lot of situations. We'll see how Stan does up here, and I think it's going to be another win. I'll be very surprised if they somehow manage to pull this one off, but we'll try one more, and I'll make sure we lose the next one. Sometimes after 3 or 4, they'll just throw me against one of the wolves, and I really won't have a choice but to lose. 85, 16, 21. Pretty good one there. I'm just going to go straight down the line from left to right and combo when I can. Let's see how this turns out. Looks like a Cigarette Addict's deck. So actually I'm going to throw Gale here instead of Amy. Well, I don't know. Gale may kill Hank, but they may combo with him first. Nope, they did not combo. I had a game plan and I already failed. Well, I think they're still going to manage to pull this one off. Yeah, that's slot 1. But we are down to 39 here, 77 here. One of the things I hate the most, too, is when a card just dies and you can potentially just come straight in for the kill. See, there's my weakest. Okay, we're going to lose it in slot 1, but you can kind of see the damage dealt there. And that's really what the payback and gas decks to me are all about. Sorry, it took a little while to kind of get to one where we lost, and that's not usually the case in Arena. Usually I lose left and right. But just kind of wanted to give some of my insights on how to build a Rumble defense deck, and hopefully that was helpful to someone out there. And we will see you next time.